Hello everyone, it's Nicole for Waffle Flower Crafts, and in today's video I'm going to be sharing a sneak peek of kit number 8 to create an amazing Christmas tree shaker card. First, in the kit, you will receive the Christmas tree shaker die, the folk art reindeer die, the slim shaker cover Christmas trees, and the Subsentiments Christmas trees. To start, I have a 4 by 5 1/4 inch panel of smooth white cardstock that I have die cut the smaller Christmas tree from the Christmas tree shaker die from. And I'm going to use my grip mat that is in my MISTI. This was handy. Any of the grip mats will do, but to hold my panel in place while I do my ink blending. This is also going to be super easy cleanup as I am using Distress Oxide inks and they wipe away with just a little water so easily. I am going to be using Broken China and Chipped Sapphire Distress Oxide inks around the panel. What I want to do is create this wintry scene card. I'm using the Waffle Flower blending brushes with my oxide inks, and you'll notice that I'm using my lighter color around the opening of my Christmas tree panel. So this is where the shaker window will go. Around this and around the edges, we're going to apply Chipped Sapphire. And we're going to pull this color in pretty far, but it's still going to give a nice kind of glow, if you will, around the tree with that lighter color. We want to just do a really pretty, nice, soft blend. My goal here was to create a wintry scene with this adorable Christmas tree and then the reindeer kind of peeking through this window in front of the Christmas tree, I guess, if you will, if you want to think of it like that. Next, from my stash, I'm going to take the Waffle Flower Bokeh Stencil Trio, and I'm only going to use 2 of the stencils in this collection with some white pigment ink. White pigment ink is awesome with the Bokeh stencils. Really any ink is, but white is probably one of my favorites. And I like to use something else as a palette instead of my ink pad. So I just use the cover of my MISTI in this case to press some of that white ink in place, and then I'm picking it up with my ink blending tool. This way I'm not taking my ink blending tool that might be picking up some of the blue ink and transferring it to my white ink pad. So I'm using stencils 2 and 3 here. I'm just not using the largest Bokeh stencil in this set. You can use any combination that you want. And once I have all of this white ink stenciled over my blue background, I'm going to remove my stencil and look at this beautiful wintry sky. Now I'm not quite finished. As I work on assembling a couple of the other parts of this card, I want to splatter this background with some white gouache. So I just have a plastic splatter box here. This is just a regular storage box that you can get at any discount store. And I'm going to just spatter this up, giving it even more of that snowy, wintry look and feel. And you can really see that pretty light blue glow around that opening where the tree is going to go. You could even notch the corners of this and add a hole in the top and make this a tag instead if you wanted. And I think that would be super cute. On another 4 by 5 1/4 inch panel of smooth white cardstock, I'm now going to ink up with Iced Spruce and a little Rustic Wilderness Distress Oxide inks. I'm going to go pretty much all over the center of this panel with Iced Spruce first, before coming back in with the Rustic Wilderness. This is going to give our tree its color. The die cut tree that I die cut from the front panel, I've actually just set aside to use on another project on its own without the shaker window. It is the perfect tree. I love it. Perfect Christmas tree. And once I'm happy with my ink placement, I am going to be ready to go ahead and build my folk art reindeer. So if you loved the postage layering stencils with that darling reindeer, you are going to love this folk art die cut. I am going to die cut my deer from a couple of sheets of brown as well as some red, and then we are going to embellish so we can add him in front of the tree. I didn't add the strings of lights to this card, but you do get those in the Christmas tree shaker die, and so that will be really fun to use those on that tree die cut that I saved and I will be using on a tag. I'm layering my lighter brown cardstock over the darker to start. Look how cute. And then I'm going to start inlaying all of the little parts and pieces. The circle for the cheek is actually a layer and not inlaid, but I did die cut that top layer of the reindeer out of red, not just the light brown, and I'm going to inlay all the little pieces. It's an extra added step. You could, if you want to make it a little easier, you could die cut this from some red cardstock or and layer that and then trim off like the antlers and the feet, the legs, and layer that back behind, or any color of cardstock that you like. And that would be a way to eliminate some of the inlay if you don't want to mess with all of these teeny tiny little parts and pieces. I chose to go all with red, but you could mix several colors if you wanted to, and you could even cut apart this top layer and do that head section in another color. The options are endless here. Instead of cutting the nose or die cutting the top layer of the reindeer from a black color of cardstock and then cutting the nose from that and adhering, which is an option, I'm actually going to take a black glossy pen and add the detail to the nose, and I'm going to take a white pen and add even more detail to my folk art reindeer. I really want him to have that folk art look and feel, so I think the more detail you can add here, the better. Now he would be cute on his own and would also be cute added to tags. Maybe you want to make matching gift tags for the holidays. I think that would be super sweet too. Waffle Flower has my favorite tag dies, the nested tags, so definitely check those out if you're looking for a wonderful basic set. So once I have all these little pieces in place, I'll be ready to add the rest of the finishing detail. So cute. And there's that black jelly roll pen. It really adds a perfect nose detail with minimal effort. And then we're just going to add some little white dots, a little highlights, I guess, if you will, or decorative marks using the white pen, keeping it pretty simple, but oh so fun. And it really, really dresses up our reindeer. Once I'm happy with this, it's time to bring it all together. To do this, I want to fill my shaker window. So we're going to want to assemble our shaker window, fill it, and then bring our background panel to the front. That way we're not trying to tip over the front shaker window. Oh, and I did add some greenery. It's a little bit brighter greenery than the tree, so hopefully it stands out a little bit more. I'm going to run a bead of glue all the way around my tree, and then I'm going to place that slim Christmas tree shaker window in place, just like so. And I love that it's slim and it doesn't stick up super far. Then I'm going to put some glue on the back of my reindeer, and he actually goes inside of the shaker. So I'm using my window as a guide for placement. Once I'm happy with that, I just want to kind of press him down in place and then let that glue sit and dry. And you want to make sure he's nice and flat, so hopefully your shaker material doesn't catch too much. I love shakers for using up stuff that I've had in my stash. So I have some baubles, like some little glittery things. I have some clay snowflakes. I have some star confetti. I love to use all the things that I have accumulated in my craft stash for shakers. It's a great way to use up some of those supplies. I'm going to add glue, place my backing down onto the front and then seal it shut and make sure it's sealed. And I can see that I think some of my confetti is escaping out the bottom. Oh yeah, I did. Not too much, but a little. So I didn't get that glued down great. I'm going to put a little more glue in there, and then I love to use reverse tweezers to pinch that shut. Now, a fun thing to do in the Christmas tree shaker window set is a star and the base of the tree. So I did the base of the tree out of brown cardstock, but the star, I picked a glittery gold cardstock from my stash, and I absolutely love how it looks. Next, we're going to take some of the Subsentiments Christmas trees, and I'm going to pick one of the greetings from here. These are awesome pre-made sentiments that you can use for all kinds of cards and tags and projects. I'll place some foam adhesive on the back, place that down underneath the tree, and then we're going to place the entire shaker panel on a white top fold card base, which will frame it up beautifully. Look at all that fun snowy shaker material. Finally, some of that gold confetti escaped. You could just use more, but because it escaped, I just went ahead and decided to add some little dabs of glue and finish off that beautiful snowy bokeh sky with some little gold star confetti. Thank you guys so much for joining me today for this sneak peek kit of kit number 8 from Waffle Flower Crafts. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.